Beyond the Hype, a fashion lifestyle tech podcast. Presented by Stephanie Williams and Greg Lewis.
You know, everyone loves a good comeback story. And the NFT space, well, it's no stranger to those.
Yeah, definitely seen some wild rides these past few years.
It's true. What's interesting, though, is that some projects didn't just weather the storm, they actually came out even stronger.
They did, they really did.
And that's what we're diving into today. 5 projects that rode the NFT wave and basically redefined what success looks like in that space.
Absolutely, and I think it's important to look beyond just the art itself. You know, we're talking strategies, tech communities, the whole package.
Exactly, and you know, since we're all on the same page about the basics of NFTs, we can skip right to the good stuff.
Let's do it.
We're talking CryptoPunks, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Art Blocks, Doodles, and World of Women. Each one kind of carved its own path and figuring out their secret sauce. That's what makes this so fascinating.
It's a really diverse group, and I think they offer valuable lessons for anyone interested in NFTs, whether you're a creator, a collector, or just curious about where things are headed.
Absolutely. So why don't we start with the pioneers, the OGs as they're known, CryptoPunks.
Yeah, going back to 2017 with those 10,000 pixelated avatars, they really introduced the world to digital scarcity in a way that had never been done before.
Right, because before that, digital art was so easy to just copy and paste. But CryptoPunks, they flipped the script. Owning a piece of digital art, in this case a little pixelated dude or dudette, it became verifiable and scarce. What's crazy is some of these sold for over $10 million. What made people go so crazy for what's essentially a tiny digital image?
You've got to consider a few things. First off, you've got the whole historical significance. CryptoPunks, they were there at the very beginning. It's like owning the first edition of a comic book that becomes a cult classic.
Oh, I see.
Then there's the rarity factor. Only 10,000 were ever created, and within that, some have rarer traits, making them even more sought after.
So you've got that digital history, plus the thrill of owning something truly unique. But the NFT market, well, has its ups and downs, to say the least. How did CryptoPunks handle the downturn when so many people thought NFTs were done for?
The creators, Larva Labs, they got strategic. They knew they couldn't just rely on past success. They went out and many collaborations happened, kept CryptoPunks in the spotlight.
So they kept busy.
Yeah, for example, they did a partnership with Christie's Auction House, bringing those pixelated avatars into the traditional art world.
Now that is smart. It's like they gave CryptoPunks this legitimacy that few other projects could match. So where are they now after all the craziness?
CryptoPunks are still a status symbol in the NFT world. They're considered like blue chip NFTs, a real testament to their staying power and the influence they've had on the whole scene.
It's pretty wild to think about. Those little pixelated faces created back in 2017, they still carry so much weight.
It shows you the power of being the first mover, combined with smart decisions to stay relevant.
For sure. Okay, let's fast forward to 2021 when another project took the NFT world by storm. Bored Ape Yacht Club, or BAYC for those in the know.
Now, BAYC, they really understood that community that was everything when it came to building a brand that would last in the NFT space. Owning a Bored Ape wasn't just about the art, it was about being part of a club with its own culture, its own perks, and of course, bragging rights.
They definitely nailed the whole community aspect. But how did they create that feeling of exclusivity and belonging that made BAYC so desirable?
They were really smart about it. They had these events just for Bored Ape owners with celebrity performances and experiences that you just couldn't get anywhere else. And they weren't shy about using celebrity endorsements either. You had everyone from musicians to athletes showing off their Bored Apes.
It was like this perfect storm: exclusivity, celebrities, and a passionate community, all fueled by some pretty awesome ape artwork.
Yeah.
But what about the money? Because that's a big part of the whole NFT thing, right?
Absolutely. The first sale of the Bored Apes made millions. But it was when they hit the secondary market that things really took off.
Oh.
The scarcity, those high-profile endorsements, and the passionate community drove prices through the roof. People were paying insane amounts just to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And that's where things get really interesting, because riding that initial wave of hype, that's one thing, but to keep that going, especially when the market takes a dip, that takes a whole different strategy.
You're right about that. So when the NFT market did take that downturn, how did BAYC, a project so tied to that peak, manage to weather the storm?
This is where you've got to give credit to Yuga Labs, the company behind BAYC. They knew that staying relevant meant giving their community more to be excited about. So they came out with the Mutant Ape Yacht Club, basically a spinoff that let owners mutate their Bored Apes into these new unique NFTs.
So they're tapping into that collector's mindset, that desire for something new and rare, while also rewarding the people who are already on board smart.
Exactly. But they didn't stop there. They went even bigger with the Other Side Metaverse project. This was huge, a virtual world built on the Ethereum blockchain where Bored Ape and Mutant Ape holders could own land and, interact with each other.
So now they weren't just about digital art, they were building a whole digital world. That's ambitious.
It was. And it worked. These moves kept the community engaged, brought in new investors, and maybe most importantly, positioned BAYC as more than just a flash in the pan. They became a major player in the future of digital ownership and those virtual experiences.
It sounds like they really grasped that in the world of NFTs, you can't just sit back and relax. You have to keep innovating, keep moving forward.
Exactly. And that's a lesson that goes way beyond NFTs. Now ready to explore a different side of NFT art.
Hit me with it. I'm all ears.
Let's dive into art blocks. This platform brought generative art to the blockchain. And honestly, it changed the way we think about creativity in the digital space.
Okay, I've heard the term generative art, but I'll be honest, it's a little over my head. Can you break it down?
Sure. Imagine this. Instead of an artist creating a finished piece, they create an algorithm, a set of rules and parameters. This algorithm then goes onto the blockchain, and each time someone mints a piece of art from it, the code generates a unique output, a one-of-a-kind artwork.
So the artist isn't making the final image directly, they're creating the system that does it for them.
You got it. And that's the genius of art blocks. It introduces randomness, surprise, even a kind of collaboration between the artist, the code, and the collector.
That's wild. It's like a whole new way to experience art. But I imagine that comes with its own set of challenges, especially during a market downturn. How did art blocks stay relevant when people were questioning the value of NFTs in general?
This is where their focus on the art itself really made a difference. They curated a platform for high-quality generative art, which drew in established artists and collectors who saw the artistic value in this new medium.
So it wasn't just about the tech, it was about the art itself.
Absolutely. That resonated with collectors who were looking for more than just a quick profit. They wanted something with real artistic merit, something that pushed the boundaries of what digital art could be.
And art blocks gave them that. They provided a platform for artists to experiment with code and create truly unique pieces, and collectors got to be a part of that discovery process.
Exactly. And by staying committed to pushing those creative boundaries, they've remained leaders in the generative art movement, even with all the NFT market's ups and downs.
It shows you the power of innovation and artistic vision, even in a space as unpredictable as NFTs. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm ready for something a little more on the fun side.
You're gonna love this next project.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Doodles. They came onto the scene in 2021 with a vibrant style and this really community-focused approach that just took the NFT world by storm.
They brought the energy for sure. I remember seeing Doodles everywhere. What was it about their approach that helped them stand out?
Well, first you got the art itself. Created by an artist known as Burnt Toast, along with Jordan Castro and Scott Martin, Doodles are these super colorful, playful characters that just make you happy. They tapped into this nostalgia and childlike wonder that people really connected with.
It's true. They've got this universal appeal, like Saturday morning cartoons for the digital age.
Right. But it wasn't just the art. Doodles understood the community was key. They got their holders involved in decision-making, hosted special events and meetups, and built this sense of belonging that went way beyond just owning a JPEG.
So in the NFT space, it's not enough to just have the asset engagement is just as important.
Exactly. They knew people weren't just buying a doodle. They were buying into a community, a shared experience.
Yeah.
And that's powerful.
No doubt. But how did that play out when the NFT downturn hit? Did that community focus help them through it?
It was essential to their resilience, I'd say.
How so?
Think about it. So when things get uncertain, people want what's familiar, what feels safe. They want a community they can rely on. And that's what Doodles offered.
They'd built that foundation of trust and community, which became even more valuable when things got shaky.
Exactly. And they were proactive about it. They doubled down on community engagement, doing more events, launching new things, and keeping their holders informed every step of the way. They turned a tough situation into a chance to strengthen those bonds within their community.
And it worked. Doodles are still one of the most popular NFT collections out there, with a community that's still going strong. It shows that building a strong community is just as valuable as any tech innovation or market trend.
Couldn't agree more. And speaking of communities that are making a difference, our last project for today takes us in a bit of a different direction.
Oh, tell me more.
Let's talk about World of Women, or WOW for short. This project launched in 2021 with a mission to champion inclusivity and female representation in the NFT space. which, let's be real, has had its fair share of diversity issues.
That's true. The NFT world has often felt a bit like a boys' club. How did World of Women try to change that?
From day one, they were intentional about their mission. They put female artists front and center, created a supportive community for women in NFTs, and used their platform to advocate for more diversity in tech and art.
So it's more than just cool art. It's a movement. It's a platform for change that's really cool.
It is, and it really resonated with people. World of Women got a ton of attention, not just within the NFT space, but from mainstream media, even celebrities. They were drawn to that message of empowerment and inclusion.
It's really something how they went beyond the typical NFT hype and connected with people on a different level. But how did that translate when the market went down? Did focusing on social good help them or hurt them when most people were worried about their investments?
That's the heart of what makes World of Women so interesting, because their commitment to their values, that's what made them strong during the downturn.
Right, because when things get shaky, people want something real, something to believe in.
Exactly. And World of Women, they built this amazing community around inclusivity, empowerment, social good. And when other NFT projects were struggling, World of Women was like this beacon of hope, a reminder that there's more to this space than just making money.
So they didn't just get by, they thrived.
They did. They stayed true to their mission. They kept supporting female artists, charitable causes. They built a community where everyone felt welcome and valued. That's
really something. It shows that projects with strong values can not only succeed, but do even better in tough times.
Exactly. And that's true for anything, really. When what you build has a real purpose, something that resonates with people, that creates loyalty and resilience that goes beyond any trend.
It's like a reminder that in NFTs and anything, really, authenticity matters.
For sure. We've covered 5 incredible NFT projects, each with its own story of success, resilience, innovation. What stands out to you as the biggest takeaway?
It's tough to choose just one, but I think it's the power of Community Board Ape, Yacht Club, Art Blocks, Doodles, World of Women. They all understood that building a strong and engaged community that was key to their success.
Totally. And it's not about having a ton of followers or anything like that. It's about belonging, shared purpose, real connection. It's about creating a space where people feel valued, heard, and empowered. And that's important for anything, NFTs or anything else.
It's been amazing exploring these NFT success stories, and each project might have taken a different path, but they all show how important adaptability is innovation and building something meaningful that people connect with.
Couldn't have said it better. What will the next chapter of the NFT revolution hold? Will these big players stay on top, or will we see new innovators come in inspired by these stories and ready to make their own mark?
That's the exciting part, right? The future of NFTs is still being written, and who knows, maybe it'll be something none of us saw coming. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into this world. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Beyond the Hype, a fashion lifestyle tech podcast.